Hey guys, musicninjamat here, and today I'm going to be talking about some more new comic book series, one from Marvel and one from DC. Of course, there will be spoilers for both books that I'm going to be speaking about. So first up we have Return of Wolverine from Marvel. This spills out of the Hunt for Wolverine series that I was reading. It is written by Charles Soule with art by Steve McNiven, and essentially it's another story of Wolverine and his memories being messed with. He's of course back from the dead now, and he wakes up surrounded by bodies, and it looks like he probably caused that. And he's speaking to this doctor, and all the doctor can say is, you need to take down Sotira, and you need to take down Persephone. And she is actually the leader of Sotira. These names are very hard to pronounce, I had to Google it. A grenade comes in, kills the doctor. Obviously Wolverine then gets moving, and he's being encouraged by different versions of himself who are in his head, and they're saying, you know, you've got to push forward, you've got to save the world. But then other parts are like, really, you just need to get revenge because once again people have screwed with you. We see him move past this like camp, and there's women and children being murdered, so obviously Wolverine takes action to try and save everybody. Wolverine ends up falling back and hitting his head, and we see what's really good imagery. It's inside his head, there are a load of different cells, and there's different aspects of his life and personality all locked away, and we see him speaking with Persephone, who he actually ends up sharing a kiss with as well, so that makes you wonder what her relationship with Wolverine is. He wakes up and this woman's saying, you have to go and save my son. Wolverine agrees to do so, but when she calls him Wolverine, he's like, I don't know who that is. We also see that Wolverine has this big cut that won't heal, which of course is very strange for Wolverine. This woman ends up closing up his wound for him, and she basically tells him this story of a time where he saved a hospital, and it kind of inspires aspects of Wolverine, his heroic side. And what I really like is there's an image where he unlocks one of the cells in his mind, and it's him in his classic costume, and he's unlocked the superhero side of himself. So you can see an image of all the cells by there. This first issue was okay. I actually ended up really enjoying some parts of Hunt for Wolverine, which is why I was really keen to jump on this Return of Wolverine storyline. But apart from some cool imagery, it hasn't really hit me that much. Moving on now to the DC story. This is a really weird one. I saw a preview for it, adored the preview because Batman is teaming up with Constantine. It's part of DC's new mature readers Black Label, and it is Batman Damned. This is the first issue, huge book. You know, it's really well put together. I love the style of this. This is only 3 issues, which I really like. The art style is amazing, it's more like paintings. It is written by Brian Azzarello with Lee Bemijo on art. So straight away we have a voiceover in this book, and it's Constantine. He's kind of telling you the events throughout. And I really like it because he even makes reference to Killing Joke, where he says, oh, I heard a joke about insanity once, something to do with a beam of light, I can't really remember. But he says, the biggest thing I remember is a fall. And that's kind of a big theme, it's the fall of Batman. We see Batman's very injured, he's bleeding out, and he's lashing out at everybody, if it's police or medics, anybody that's around. Batman sort of half dreams, half hallucinates his past. There's like flashes of him as a child, and this will go on more and more throughout the story, but then that's when he bumps into John Constantine. Batman wakes up and he finds out that actually Joker has been killed, which is huge news of course for Batman, and he wakes up and John Constantine seems to have taken care of him, helped out with his wounds, and we also get to see that Dead Man is lurking around, and he's a really cool character in this. We see a bit more from Batman's past, and we actually see what looks like his father having an affair, which was really strange, and I'm wondering how this will play into the story. What's mad as well is there are a lot of religious themes, obviously, because you have Constantine in this book, but it's really interesting him talking about how God must have been crazy because look at how the world is designed. You'd go mad if you were having to deal with the creation of all of this anyway. And he talks about angels and what are their purpose, and demons, and there's just these really amazing themes because they fit with Batman so well. We see like this crazy homeless guy is saying to the police how he witnessed the murder, you know, Joker was murdered, and we get a bit where Batman goes after him, but we don't really see if Batman caught him or not. There's a lot in this book where it's a lot of jumping around and it can be quite confusing. Batman returns to the Batcave and he's getting his wounds checked over, checking his vitals, seeing if he's okay, and he says, tell me about the body that died on the bridge. And there are actually two bodies. One is in a morgue and one has vanished. And Batman's saying bodies don't just vanish. And we see Batman just really starting to break down mentally. We then see Batman is disguised as a homeless man because he's sort of going undercover. He's trying to track down Joker. And this is where Batman gets a warning from Deadman, and he's saying there are dark forces working against you, because obviously Deadman has to jump between bodies to be able to communicate. In some of Batman's dreams, hallucinations, whatever they are, it looks like he's actually speaking to Enchantress, but he's speaking to her while he's a child. It's very strange. And then we see Batman turns up in this church where Constantine is sat, and Constantine is saying basically that Joker could still be going, but not necessarily alive. He could be some form of ghost or demon, and he's saying, you know, the afterlife, Batman, even if you don't believe in it, it believes in you. And we get this image of Jesus on the cross, but he's got the Joker face paint on. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the art. And yes, I found it confusing at times and a little hard to follow, but I think that's part of the book. It's showing insanity, and Batman is in a world now that he doesn't fully understand. It's John Constantine's world. But anyway, guys, that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. Check out the links in the description down below. Check out the channel, especially the playlists, and I will see all of you in the next one.